Hi, I'm Paula Williams with ABCI. And if you're considering the ABCI Marketing Lab, we know you probably have questions and concerns. So we want you to be informed and make a good decision about whether this is a good fit for you. So let's break down some of those questions that you have and some of those concerns. And by the end of this video, you'll probably have a much better understanding of whether the Marketing Lab is a good fit for you or for your company. And you'll have answers to those questions that have been on your mind. So the first question is, what is the Marketing Lab? Well, ABCI is a marketing company. We've been in business since 2006. Simply put, the Marketing Lab is our aviation marketing practice. We put our services together into a package of tools, skills, and networking opportunities with different service levels to help everyone get better results from working with us. We wanted to make sure that everybody was getting the best results for the money that they were spending with us. So, the most expensive thing that people purchase from us is one-on-one consulting. But not everyone needs one-on-one consulting. Some things they may be able to do on their own, or their team may be able to accomplish themselves, given a little bit of coaching, maybe a template or a checklist or something along those lines. So if you're a marketing client of ABCI, you're in our Marketing Lab and you have access to all of those resources. What results can I expect from the Marketing Lab? Well, one of the first results that you can expect is increased authority, credibility, and expertise. That's one of the first things we work on with just about any client. And of course, every client comes in with a specific set of priorities. And usually there's something on fire that we need to handle right away. And if that's the case, we do that. But one of our first priorities is to help build each of our clients' authority, credibility, and expertise. We only take clients that are very good at what they do. They have a good reputation in the industry. They have clients that love them, but often they're not getting the attention that they deserve for the level of service that they provide in the industry. So the first thing that we work on is authority, credibility, and expertise. There's a set of markers that help you improve your standing in the industry. And not everybody is going to want to do every one of these things, but some of those things are things like public speaking, becoming an established thought leader in the industry, writing articles in magazines and other publications in the industry. Things like writing a book is really good credibility, because if you're the person that wrote the book on a particular thing, then you have some pretty instant credibility. We like to call that an expensive business card. If you send a book with your sales presentation, or when you meet someone and say, let me send you the book that I've written about this topic, that will probably answer some of the questions that you have. That's an instant way to get authority, credibility, and expertise. And of course, some of these things are more daunting than others. Some of them are super easy. It's just a question of maybe including the right search terms on your website, or including the right phrases on your LinkedIn profile. So some of these things are super easy. Some of these things will take us a while to get to, but we're always working toward better authority, credibility, and expertise for our clients. And what that means to you is, think about, what would change for you and your company if you had predictable sales, and if you didn't have to struggle to get the attention of prospects, but had them coming to you. And if they came to you with an expectation that you were the expert in your field, instead of you having to convince them of every single thing that you're saying, if they already believe you because you've established that authority, credibility, and expertise. So that is one of the first results that you can expect from the Marketing Lab. There's many others, but that's just one of the examples that we'll share for today. in my organization should be involved in the marketing lab. We have clients who are CEOs, we have clients who are marketing coordinators, we have clients who are aircraft brokers or appraisers or insurance people, sales professionals of all sorts, flight instructors that are responsible for getting their own students. Basically anybody who has to sell in order to make a living will benefit from the marketing lab. So, just to give you an example of how we help some of these folks, we had a CEO of a fairly well-known company come to Salt Lake City. He would fly in and we would spend the day working on podcasts at our kitchen table and working on videos like this one. They looked really professional. Nobody would guess that was done at our kitchen table. Since then, we're building a studio so that we don't have to do that. But, a lot of C-level executives are very involved in sales and marketing for the really successful companies. You'll notice a lot of the really famous companies, Apple, Amazon, Tesla, all of those things. The CEO is the rock star and, is very, very involved in the marketing for the company. So CEOs are very welcome. Anybody at any level in the organization that has to make sales is going to really benefit from working with us. So, in a lot of companies, we have 7 or 8 members who are members of the lab. In some companies, it's just one, in very small startups or other things, then it's only the founder that's involved with us, and that's fine too. So everybody who's involved with sales or marketing, I think should be in the lab. So how is the marketing lab different from working with a traditional marketing agency? Well, to be honest, this video is being made in 2022. And to be honest, traditional agencies just don't work anymore. You pay thousands of dollars or tens of thousands of dollars for a marketing plan. You get slick, produced marketing materials that don't really reflect reality, and your customers can smell that a mile away. Your prospects can really have great BS meters, what we call BS detectors, and the slick marketing that doesn't answer their questions, that isn't transparent, that the company isn't directly involved in, that you just threw over the wall to an agency, just isn't going to build trust or resonate or build relationships with clients these days. What we do instead is we provide the tools, skills, and networking opportunities to help you build an honest, transparent sales process and honest, transparent marketing materials that get real with your customers. So, they're not the glossiest. They are not the slickest. They are not models or stock photography or any of those things, although some of those things we can use when we need to. But it's a collaborative model where we're finding out from you, what are your customers' real questions? How can we best package those answers in a way that's going to make sense to them and be convenient for them, and make sure that they run across those things either in their social media feed or in the magazines they read or the trade shows they go to? How do we best get in front of the decision makers that you need to sell to? So that's how we're different from a traditional marketing agency. It's a much more collaborative model and much more transparent results. So how long will it take to get the results I want from the marketing lab? Well, first of all, that's going to depend on your goals. Most of our clients have short-term and long-term goals. But just to give you a couple of examples, I can tell you about Holly Quist. She wrote us a really nice testimonial about our Aviation Sales Foundations course. She ended up getting a job with one of her target companies before even finishing the course. And that's typically a 6-week course. It's self-paced, so people can do it at the speed that they want to. So her objective was to advance their career, and she got really fast results. Another example, Mark Perry, he's an aircraft appraiser. And we built for him a website and a podcast all within the first 6 months of working with him. And he went from basically not having any visibility on the web to being in the top 5 for some of the search terms that we were working for him. And he's getting business and is pretty happy with the results that we've gotten for him. So it really depends. That's just a couple of examples. And, most of our clients have a mix of short and long-term goals. We really kind of encourage having a 90-day goal, a 1-year goal, and a 5-year goal that we're working on at any given time. So what's included in the Marketing Lab? There are so many things that we have kind of a hideous list. This is not the world's most attractive list of things, but we want to make sure that we're being thorough. So the things that are included in the Marketing Lab really depends on the level of service that you want. And we've got levels of service going from $99 a month to as much as you want to spend, probably the equivalent of hiring full-time marketing professionals to work on your team. The advantage of the Marketing Lab is that it is a month-to-month relationship. So some months you may need full service marketing when you're preparing for a trade show, when we're putting a website together for you, when we're doing a bunch of work. And then the rest of the time, you may not need all of those services. So it's really kind of recession proof and seasonal and all of those things that CEOs and CFOs love, because it is a variable expense where you get predictable results based on what you need at the moment. So the things that are included in the Marketing Lab, depending on the level of service that you want, are we include a different number of people per account, depending on whether you're a startup or whether you're a huge company. We have our book club, where we send you a book each month and we discuss it as a group. Sometimes the author joins us, which is really fun. So we get to ask questions and discuss some of the latest ideas in business and sales and marketing topics. You get Canva Pro, which is our design studio for sales and marketing professionals. This is not Photoshop. This is not that hard. It's really super easy to make offers and advertisements and social posts and other things that are really attractive without spending a ton of money or a ton of time. So that's Canva Pro. You get our VIP Lounge, which is actually in the Circle software. It's a private group that allows our members to associate with each other and interact about our courses and interact about our book clubs and other things, to discuss some of those things and get to know each other better. We have software that identifies visitors to your website. We call that, it's actually Lead Feeder. It's one of the industry leaders in that market. We use SEMrush for 2 reasons. One is for website intelligence, which of your keywords are performing the best and bringing the most traffic to your website, and also to your competitors' websites. So we do a competitive analysis every month for some of our clients and things like that. The other thing is social media tracking. How do your social accounts stack up to your competitors, and what are they doing that is getting the best engagement and the most reactions and other things? We use Basecamp for project management. That's how we keep track of all of the files that we're sharing with each other, and we're able to comment on those and keep track of the tasks that we're doing for each client. And you can see the progress and the time expended for each task. And you can assign tasks to us. We can assign tasks to you when we need something. And that really helps the collaborative model. We use a product called Alchemer for surveys, quizzes, contests, and other things. So if you wanted to do a photo contest on your website, Alchemer is the software that we use to do that with, and make your website a lot more interactive and get people involved with your marketing. We do social media templates each month. With the popular holidays, we also have some popular templates for things like common problems. If you have a situation at your airport that you need to post about, we have some templates for that as well, just to save you time and make sure you've got those resources in that toolbox. We have a strategy and planning workshop with all of the templates and everything else that we use for marketing plans and marketing budgets for our clients and for investors and other things like that and different purposes. Aviation industry prospecting workshop. This is one of our most profitable workshops that students tend to get the biggest increase in the number of sales that they make after they take that workshop. So we're pretty proud of that. We have an aviation trade show workshop that helps our clients get the most out of a trade show appearance. It's got checklists for 90 days before the trade show, 30 days before the trade show, 3 days before the trade show, how to follow up after the trade show, and all of those checklists and templates are really helpful. A focused social media workshop that basically helps you create. If you don't know what to post on social media, this is the workshop for you. It gives you 5 different ideas of types of posts that you can make, and also kind of a good ratio of sales-related posts and offers versus engagement type posts and things that are designed to help you build your community. And it's focused toward an aviation audience. So this is not retail. This is not fluffy. This is not selling clothes or t-shirts or coffee mugs or anything like that. This is actually selling aviation stuff using social media. So that we're really proud of as well. How to work with a press workshop. That's another good one that includes a lot of templates for common situations where you may need to release a press release or something along those lines. And it's nice to have something where you just start, you watch a video, you fill in the blanks, you create your template or your press release based on what you need. There's a promo video workshop that helps you put together, here are several different types of very successful promo videos that you can create. Here are some outlines for those. Here's how you customize them. Here's how you shoot the video, how you set up your lighting, your sound, all of that. How you do the bumpers, the intros, the outros, the music, everything else. Or, of course, we help you with that at some levels of service where you send us your raw video, we do the production for you, and we send you the finished promo video. Resales, recaptures, and referrals. Now, a lot of people know, if you've been in the industry for any length of time, you know that most of the money in the industry comes from resales, recaptures, and referrals. So this is a really important workshop for our sales professionals to help them get that second source of income rather than being in hunting mode all the time, getting those resales, recaptures, referrals, and packaging your services as a subscription. We talk about a lot of those kinds of things to help you have a more reliable income from the people that you already know and that already know, like, and trust you, that you can provide additional services to. Our Aviation Sales Fundamentals workshop. This is kind of the cornerstone of our training program. This is the first course that we put together because as people were getting leads from our marketing efforts, they didn't really know what to do with them or, didn't really have a sales process for following up on those. So that Aviation Sales Fundamentals workshop is great for people who either don't have a sales background, they come from an engineering background, or, maybe they were pilots or techs or whatever, and now they're in a sales role, or they come from a sales role from some other industry, like they used to sell cars or real estate or retail, and they need to understand the differences of the aviation industry and how to sell in this environment. So that Aviation Sales Fundamentals workshop is what that's for. We have a personal branding workshop that I think everybody should do. This really helps anyone who's in sales or marketing position themselves so that they will have the authority, credibility, and expertise to be believed. A lot of times we have to spend a lot of time convincing other people of what we're saying. And if you have that authority, credibility, and expertise, that just becomes a lot easier. And sometimes it's very small changes that will make a big difference in your personal branding or in your authority, credibility, and expertise that you show up with. All right. Our executive digital coaching. This is helpful for people who have been in the industry for a long time and have probably been really, really successful in the industry, but are unsure about how to use some of these digital tools like LinkedIn, like Zoom, and others. We can help you become a whole lot more comfortable and polished using those tools with some hands-on executive digital coaching that's not going to waste your time. It's not going to take you back to the very beginning. If you already understand most of it, you just have a few little things that you want to work on so that you feel comfortable with those tools and things. Product or service branding, logos, fonts, colors, packaging, all of that really are just kind of a visual shorthand to tell the story behind your product or service, and the problem that it solves and the customer that it's intended to serve. So product or service branding is something that we include at some service levels in our marketing lab. Group office hours, we offer 2 of those a month, and those are just basically drop-in hours where you can have access to me or someone on my team that knows a lot about sales and marketing and can role play with you through an upcoming sales call, or help you fix a problem with your social media, or fix a problem on your website, or whatever it is that's standing between you and making more sales. So those group office hours, we offer 2 of them a month across the board to any level, any member at any level. And then you don't have to use your private office hours for those goofy little problems that get in your way. Our private office hours, this is really the cornerstone of our marketing lab, because we need to stay in touch with our clients on a regular basis. We need to meet with you once a month. We demand at least an hour a month of your time devoted to your sales and marketing situation. We need to know what your priorities are, how things are going, what worked well, what didn't go well, what we need to change, so that we're constantly adjusting and making things better in your sales and marketing system. So those office hours, we really demand at least 1 hour a month. And then we set our goals for the next month. What is the service level that you need for the next month? What are the projects that we're working on? How much time are they going to take? How many project hours do you need? And how do we get those things accomplished at the most economical level for you? And then that goes into our project hours. So depending on what you need, if you need a new website, that takes about 12 hours, depending on the bells and whistles that you need on that website. If you need assistance with a brochure or something like that, we take a look at it and we give you an estimate. Here's the amount of time that we think it's going to take, and then we guarantee that we will take care of that problem within that amount of time that we estimate. And that's how we determine the dedicated project hours for the month. And that's how we decide, the level of effort that we're going to need to expend on your behalf and the amount of money that you pay. So the more do-it-yourself you are, or the more do-it-yourself your team is, the more self-sufficient you are, the lower service level is going to be successful for you. As you expand and other things, a lot of our clients make us their marketing department. And, rather than adding staff, they use us for a lot of those tasks that they will need going forward. And, we make a great partner to your existing team. We are a great extra pair of hands for the skills or the preferences that they don't have, things they don't want to do, other things like that. So we do a really great job of working with your existing team and making sure that that works in a harmonious way and everybody is more successful for it. So you make more money, they make more money, everybody is happier going forward. So that's really our intention with what's included with the Marketing Lab. All right. So what's the investment of time and money that I should expect Now, a lot of people, when they first get into our marketing lab, they feel like it's kind of a fire hose. They're getting all of these invitations to book club events. They're getting all of this stuff in the mail, all of these reports and things like that. You don't have to consume everything all the time in order to get value from it. You decide what your priorities are. We're here to support that. So that said, being successful in the aviation industry requires a combination of time and money. The more time you spend, the less money you need to spend. And the more money you spend, the less time you need to spend, because you can get other people to do those tasks for you. And that is just a reality of life. There are a lot of things that we can do that will help you save both time and money, but there is no free lunch, and good results require good effort, and on either your part or our part, or both. And we like to get the best balance of both. Now, this is just like working on your house. Sweat equity sometimes helps you get better results and more customization. But we know better than to try to do some things ourselves. We're working on our basement right now. We're putting in a studio. And John is fantastic. My husband, John, and partner, you may know him from our podcast. He is fantastic at IT and networking. So he is running all the wires and setting up all the routers and setting up all the repeaters and everything else for that space. And so that sweat equity gets you exactly the results that you want. And he's able to work with our contractor to make sure that he's getting him to do all of the painting, because we're no good at painting. But John's setting up the electronics exactly the way he wants them. And that is really what we're trying to do with each of our clients, is figure out, you're really good at this. You don't have anybody at the moment that wants or is able to do this. So let's fill in that space for you to make sure that you're getting the professional results that you need. So it's basically, the intention is, to get the best professional results with the most white glove, fabulous service that you could possibly want, but only on the things that you want to spend the money on. And that's really where we're coming from with the marketing lab. And we want to be as flexible as we can with that, because we don't ever want to turn a customer away because they can't afford us. We've got service levels for everyone. And if you're at the lowest end of that service level, then you're going to have to spend more time and be using templates and tools and checklists and other things and doing some of the work yourself. But as you are able to invest more money in your marketing, you may decide that you want to have us do more of the work and take some of that off your plate. Or you may decide to hire people in-house, and we will absolutely support that and help you with that. We want to make sure that we're getting the best arrangement and the best results in whatever situation we find ourselves in with an aviation client. Who is a good fit for the marketing lab and who isn't a good fit for the marketing lab? Well, let's start with who isn't a good fit for the marketing lab. If you are looking for a traditional agency that you can just say, build me an ad, and you don't want to be involved in the process, you don't want to be bothered, on a weekly basis with, here's what the progress is, here's how we're making this work. Here are the questions that we have about your customers, the questions we have about your product, to make sure that we're digging in, getting all of that authenticity in your ad. If you're the person that doesn't want to be bothered, if you don't like working with other people, if you don't like public speaking, if you don't like being considered a thought leader in the industry, if you just want to work in your hangar and never emerge and just have customers show up magically at your door, then you're probably not a great fit for the marketing lab. We're looking for people who understand that it does take effort and investment to get the results that you want. And it does take a community. Nobody succeeds alone. So we're looking for people who are willing and able to network with each other and, share some of those results that you get. And, not with competitors, of course. We don't work with direct competitors because that would be counterproductive for us as well as for you. But if there are other people in the industry that have tried certain things and gotten certain results and they're willing to share that, if you're willing to give and get advice, and if you're willing to find those collaborative relationships in the industry that make it really successful and really profitable for everyone, then you are absolutely a good fit for a market. So how do I get started with the marketing lab? Good question. And, of course, everyone comes to the marketing lab with different priorities and expectations and starting from a different place. But we do have a process that really helps us get to the bottom of what's going to make the biggest difference for you and to start getting you results as quickly as possible. So I'm going to share my screen and I'm going to share. This is a project management software called Basecamp. We use this for everything. We use it to share files. We use it to manage our tasks and other things, to collaborate with one another and so on. And you'll see what we have here is a checklist, an onboarding checklist. And being in aviation, of course, we love checklists. And, this really just makes sure that we're covering all the bases. So in this checklist, you're going to see start here. And, this gives you a link to a little bit of an orientation on our website. You click the link, it opens right up, and it, gives you a little bit of an overview. We talk about our marketing manifesto, the things that we believe and the things that we don't believe about marketing. And it tells you about your office hours, the VIP lounge, the book club, all of the particulars about the marketing lab. One of the first tasks, of course, is to schedule your office hours. So you're going to click this link. It's going to take you to my calendar in Calendly. This is just for insiders or just for our clients. So you get access to more hours than other people do. And you'll notice toward the end of the month, things start to fill up a little bit more. It's a little bit more open at the beginning of the month, but you have access to anything in here, a 1-hour appointment, anytime you want it. You can schedule for the same time every month. We really recommend that so that we're staying in sync. But if we need to make changes or reschedule, that's fine too. And you can do that at your convenience. So you go ahead and schedule an office hour. And the office hour is where we talk about your priorities and our goals for the month and make sure we're in agreement about your priorities moving forward. Okay, so that's office hours. We have an agreement that we send to you, and it's just a nice Word document. It's one page. It's fairly simple. It just says basically anything that we do for you is called work for hire. So you own it. You can copyright it if you choose. Any articles or any videos or anything else that we produce for you is considered work for hire under the U.S. employment law. So we give you the rights to everything, is basically how that works. There is a link here for financial details, and based on the contract or based on the size of the service level that you're looking at, you have a couple of options. We can use PayPal or we can use ACH and other things. So we'll negotiate that and decide how we want to proceed with that, what's easy for you and what's easy for us for those financial details. Next, we have Basecamp Basics, and this tells you, this is just some short little videos about how to use Basecamp. We want to give you an easy introduction to all of the tools that we use so that the tools never get in the way. So this has some really simple videos to master the basics of Basecamp in 15 minutes, and it's a 15 minutes that's really well spent for that. We'll need your postal address because for most of our service levels, we send you books in the mail, and we also send you reports and other things. We're still big on on paper. If you want paper books, that's great. If you prefer audiobooks or Kindle books, whatever your preference is, we try to accommodate that. Not every book, not every selection in our book club is available in every format, but we'll do our best to accommodate your preferences. We use, for some of our service levels, a product called Lead Feeder. And that shows you who has been to your website. I'll show you mine really quickly. I'm going to log in and show you, in the last 30 days, these are the people that have been on our website. And it gives you quite a bit of information about who has been to your website, what they spent time on, if any of them are people that you already know or people that you're already corresponding with. It lets you know that, which is really helpful. And then you have an idea of, who you should be contacting, who's the most interested right now, who maybe has a need that you haven't addressed or anything else. So, haverfield.com, this is a company I'm not familiar with or I don't know anyone at, but I can simply click here. I can log into this anytime I choose, go to their LinkedIn page, figure out who I'm connected with that maybe is in this company, and expand my network based on people that are actually interested in my company and in my website. So that's really, really helpful to me, this software, I think. Let's see, after Lead Feeder, we have Canva Design School. Canva is a really simple graphics software. This is not Photoshop. This is not hard. This is something that we can do really, really simply. And they've got a Canva for Beginners course. It's really easy and fun that you can use to start making social posts or offers or covers for your emails, anything that you like that you want to do yourself. And of course, if you're in one of our full service consulting arrangements, we do all this for you, but we also provide some templates and things that you can use on your own if you choose. So once again, that's optional but helpful. All right. And then, of course, our internal group is called Circle. This is how we get there. And this basically has some really interesting topics in here, and you get to, the only people in here are ABCI's other clients. So, you'll get to know them, get to see things that they're talking about, talking about some things like copywriting. Wins Wednesdays is what we do to kind of share things that have happened that are fun in our lives or in our companies. We've got a water cooler where we can talk about uncontrolled airport bingo, the things that are interesting to us. What are you up to this weekend? Our marketing team meeting, designing successful projects. This is all stuff from our examples of social posts, things from our clients about what they're doing, some questions, things they'd like to share, and so on. And you can see also our courses have discussion groups in here. So if you are enrolled in one of our courses, this is where you're going to be discussing the course materials. All right. So, and then we also have a list of our courses and workshops. So strategy planning and budget workshop, industry prospecting, trade show workshop, social media workshop, promo video workshop, how to work with the press, resales, recaptures, and referrals, and so on. So all of that is basically the list of things that you'll want to be doing in the first little bit, in the first 30 days of working with us. And then, of course, we'll create a custom list for you of the tasks that we're working on with you to achieve your specific goals and objectives. But this just gets us on board with all of the tools and services and everything else that are included in the marketing lab so that you get off on the right foot and, the tools aren't getting in the way And, we make sure that everybody is on the same page, and we've got our office hours scheduled, and we're set to go as quickly as possible. So I hope you'll join us. I hope that we get an opportunity to sit down and do a consultation so that you can ask the specific questions that you have that I haven't thought of yet, and that weren't answered in this video. And I look forward to talking with you soon.